You can simply find out whether you're in the status of prisoners or not.
Yes, that's what I wanted to do.
You don't know this yet.
Not yet. In general, there will be first message now, in all this time.
I
never
understand.
called.
My name is Vladimir, journalist. You can ask some question of your own. Last name, first name, patronymic, date of birth, where are you from? This is classified information. You don't need it. So, here it is.
Gotta call up paper, signed contract in St. Petersburg, but was actually
Doesn't
born...
matter. Do you give voluntary consent to the recording and publication of our interview?
Yes, I do.
Your sister and friend answered. Let's call both. Mobilize it.
No, a contract.
Why did you sign the contract? What are the motives?
Cash.
Financial?
Financial,
You
yes.
aren't hiding it.
I have such a situation, what is there to hide?
Did you want to earn money?
Yes, I don't have a residence permit, I'm officially homeless, I have no housing, and I'm always on business trips, my whole life is like that.
Why so?
My parents have an apartment in the Murmansk region. I checked out of my parents' apartment.
Yes.
I didn't register anywhere, so that's how I go on business
Why
trips.
on business trips? Did you work
I
somewhere?
work, yes. I also work in Norilsk, and at the company they planted trees. I lived for 3 years renting housing between St. Petersburg
What was
and
your
Moscow.
job?
A handyman, planting trees. We have did tree work. We dug up trees, we went to the nursery, we dug up trees, planted them. The company dealt with this.
Did you earn very little?
Well, then I quit. Then I went to Norilsk, but I didn't work out in Norilsk either. Norilsk is further north, there are no business trips because there is no registration. I also have no education. I have 3 years of education. I ran away from home at the age of 11.
How did this happen? And what did you do next? You ran away from home? What did you
Lived
do?
in computer club. I was not at home. From time to time they took me home, but I ran away again because they weren't taking care of me when we arrived to St. Petersburg.
Do you have mom or dad?
There is no dad, only mom. So... Well, in general, this is how it somehow turned out that I signed the contract, because I was also tired of looking for a job and thought, okay, I'll go.
Well, 3 grade education is powerfulish.
It happened so.
Have you ever thought about finishing school?
Somehow time has flown by. Look, it's already 35 years, I'm 36.
Indeed. Already 36 years. You have decided to improve your financial situation. What kind of tattoo?
Well, I just did
Just
it.
fish?
Yes.
I decided to improve my financial situation and went.
Yes.
Did you understand where you were going?
Of course. Not really. I didn't quite understand and thought that somehow it wouldn't be like that.
What did you think it would be?
That we are probably not being pushed to the front line like that. What I saw was, of course, talk without preparation for what was happening there. How do I say it? Express it? Unprepared people, they are thrown into the very meat, probably. Nobody, of course, says anything specific.
For some reason, you saw that someone else would be thrown into the meat and not you. Do I understand correctly?
Well, yes, I probably had no idea what war
Where
was.
do such thoughts come from?
What do you mean? Where do they come from?
Some kind of complacency. I'm going to war, but someone else will go to the meet. I won't go.
It's not so bad. I thought that... How can I say it? That is not
Or
so
did you not understand
harsh.
at all what was being thrown into the meat?
I didn't understand at all.
It's clear. Well, then, when did you mobilize and sign the contract?
27th October.
And no one was bothered there by the fact that you had a 3-grade education and that you didn't serve in the army. By the way, why didn't you serve in the army?
Troubles with health.
What about your health?
The vessel are narrowed.
The blood vessels are narrowed. 3rd-grade education, no military service, no one cares, they still sign a contract with you.
Yes, apparently it's like that with everyone. They don't care.
Doesn't matter, there are even worse cases. Do you at least look like you're walking? Because there are those who walk with difficulty. Okay. What months were this?
Signed the contract?
Yes.
St. Petersburg.
Months.
In a month, in October. 27th October.
27th October. Where did they take you next?
Then we were taken to Voronezh, near Voronezh. This is near Voronezh. There was some kind of training there. They shot a couple of times, and they took us somewhere near Lugansk. Markovka, I guess.
And there?
There, we also did a little shooting, mainly because I was from the 25th Brigade.
I'm more interested in when you already been transported to some kind of military action, or maybe you communicate with civilians that are set in the rear.
No, in the rear there was also some sort of training in the forest belt, so we didn't really see anyone or communicate with anyone there. Then they brought us to the Green Line. Near Sinkovka. We were brought near Sinkovka, probably on November 20th. We were there for about 5 days in distribution at headquarters and didn't go anywhere. Then I volunteered to join the evacuation group.
We said there, did nothing happened, volunteered to join the evacuation group.
There were
It's
a
clear.
couple of tasks there to replace someone at a post.
It's clear. Who did you carry out? How
I
many did you
carried
carry
out 2 wounded men and about 3 or 4 times carried water and BC to positions, and then was taken prisoner.
How did you get captured?
There was a place where something had to be taken. I didn't know this place or dug out. They have a man who knew all this who went there. I followed him. And at one moment, I was walking along the trench. He disappeared from sight, and I just walked further, and I saw a thorn ahead. I think probably there. He called, went up to the thorn, and looked, there was a trench there. I called, they shout from there, and a Ukrainian soldier came out.
And they took you prisoner.
Sorry?
And they took you prisoner.
Yes.
You weren't even armed, right?
Yes.
Have you seen the Nazis?
No.
They tell you on TV, you know what?
I can rudely imagine that they say something especially about the Nazis on RNTV. Well, the Nazis in terms of Germans.
National Socialist. So... what are you fighting for?
What are we fighting
Yes.
for? Well, I won't speak for everyone, honestly. I
Well,
don't
you're
really
in it for
understand
the money,
politics.
it's clear. Is there any general understand it at all?
People, I don't get it also. It seems to me for money. They say that they go for money. At least what I see around people who are walking, they are actually probably for money, it seems to me.
Most for money.
Certainly.
Are you fighting because you were made beggars?
Yes, it turns out yes.
Hello, my name is Vladimir. I'm a journalist from Ukraine. Your brother is in our captivity. Do you know about this?
Yes, I know about this.
How long have you know about this?
I don't remember since the end of November, I think. They showed that he was in captivity. There was a video from your side.
I understand. It is clear that this can only happen from our side. Was he put on the list of prisoners?
I didn't go. I don't know whether I should do or not. I want to ask him whether he should be included in the list of prisoners or not. The girls called from the community of soldiers' mothers and said that they had put him on the list.
The girls in the community of soldiers' mothers do not engage in exchange. Official structures handle your exchange. He must be officially included. The status of a prisoner of war must be officially assigned to him. So, you better go.
I didn't go. I'll go on Monday.
Will you go? Explain to your sister where she needs to go in order from you to be taken from captivity, or do you not want to return from captivity?
I want to, of course. It's necessary, Natasha, to go, and I should have gone a long time ago to the military registration and enlistment office, to all the authorities.
Dima, we thought maybe you didn't want to come back. How do we know?
Well, I had no connection before this. Here at the first connection we had a call. I called you before for free from the Red Cross, but you didn't pick up. So how could I tell you that I want to go home? I don't know. In general, in theory, we should probably hope for the best. How come I didn't want to go home?
I thought you didn't want to go home. Well, how do I know? I don't know what your plans are. You do everything your own way. If you want, then on Monday I'll go to the military registration and enlistment office where you were drafted
Yes,
from.
I want it very much.
Okay. I'll go with Sergei, probably.
Is Sergei here? In general, are you doing well? Are you all alive and healthy?
Everything seems to be as usual.
Here the parcels can be transferred. You can collect them for me. I will probably have money, then I will give it back. It will be possible to transfer the parcel here, and so the volunteer, it will be possible to send money here to my account. There is a store here.
I looked at your conditions. I don't know what there. You understand that the information war is going on in different ways. Well, it seems like they showed that there is a store. It seems like there will be one.
I was glad to see that everything was fine, alive and well.
Can I ask you a question?
Can he, Natasha, they want to ask you more questions.
Yes, please.
What are you fighting for?
I'm not fighting for anything. I'm against it all.
Well, your brother has gone.
Well, my brother lives his own independent life. We told him. Excuse us, of course, but we told him. I'm against all this. I don't want it. I'm very scared. I feel sorry for you, and I feel sorry for these fools. I feel sorry for everyone. I'm against it.
Well, fools make their own moves.
So what am I going to tell him something? I told him, we warned him, don't do it. We warned him, but for now they are on their own, you know.
He tells me about his life in general. It somehow happened that he ran away from home at the age of 11.
Well, he's a disaster. He's on his own. We were always looking for him. Yes, he is like that.
Couldn't you talk some sense into him?
No, he will sit and run away again.
Is everything normal mentally? Is he not registered anywhere?
No, he seems fine.
It seems normal, but the behavior is completely...
Well, excuse me, if people are told that they shouldn't do this but they do it, what does the Sikh have to do with it? This is their character until they get burned themselves. If they tell you, don't do this, no, I'll stick to one point, I'll do it. This is his personality.
Well, I understand. Why does Russia need the territory of Ukraine? Have you thought about that?
I have no idea, he probably wants to play in the Soviet Union.
Whoa, play in the Soviet Union. Have you seen the corpses?
Of course I
A
saw that.
lot?
Well, a few where I was there, but I saw it. I imagine there's nothing
Well,
we can
there
do.
are corpses in the fields, in the plantings. Here's the games of the
I
Soviet
can
Union.
imagine.
There are no
There's
cities.
nothing we can do, you see. What can we do? You see what's going on here.
You have friends and you probably advise them. Go fight there.
What for? I told you I'm against all this.
I'm being sarcastic. I mean that on the contrary, you can explain, tell.
No, I am a mother. My son is growing up. Would any mother send her child to war?
I bet they would. They would.
No. No, no, no. No.
And they even send them two sons. And happy. I
No. No, I don't see happiness in this, in some kind of bloody money. I do not see. I myself, you see, work at construction site.
see you're building something there. Doing something there.
I'm wallpapering.
Well, that's okay.
Wallpapering.
That's okay. Normal. Normal job, normal income.
I've been working like this all my life. I don't really
I
want
see,
anyone.
okay. You go to the military registration and enlistment office there, because he will never be taken away and we don't need him here.
Don't need him.
Not at all.
At all?
Absolutely.
You never know. Might come in handy.
We have enough.
I would stay if I were him.
I understand that maybe you would have stayed in his place, but we need to take our people from captivity, and he is our exchange fund. So you go there, tell them to put him on the list of prisoners, assign him to the status of a prisoner of war, and somehow include him in the exchange.
Okay, I'll definitely tell. You'll have to excuse us, of course.
In my opinion, there is nothing to excuse you specifically. Okay, goodbye.
Yes, and how can he transfer the data? Send him money or parcel?
I have it written down in my
I'll send
notebook.
the
We
photo now.
take pictures.
Thanks a
Goodbye.
lot.
I don't think your sister will be very enthusiastic, of course. Let's get a friend right away. The friend apparently decided that he no longer wants to talk to you. Also, he wrote that he accepted, so I'm calling him.
I understand.
Everything was clear, it was time, we warned it, we waited. Photo. Give it to me. You wrote the words parcels and transfers correctly.
I practice it. I'm a romantic. I used to write letters to girls. I wrote them nice.
Oh, this is what I sent.
Basically, they told me that my handwriting is old, like I learned it before the third grade. I improved it a little. Well, I don't know. Autocorrection taught me. I often write on my phone and remember it. My teacher, T9. Thank you very much.
What else can you tell me?
So, what can I tell you? It's said that I got scammed. I regret that I didn't listen to people. Well, now you know, they are talking and we told them, and at some point,
To whom?
to me, my sister spoke and so did my mother. My mom said that it would be better if I did not go to war. When the situation was such that I had nowhere to live, I often lived with my sister in St. Petersburg, lived at her dacha. I was looking for a job and it was hard for me psychologically that I was forced to live with my relatives. At such moments it was ready to do anything just to be able to provide for myself. How I can say this? For such a life I was ready for anything. That's why went to war. I had no choice. No, now I understand that there was a choice. I regret that I came to fight in Ukraine. I'll return home, and I'm very glad that I survived, that I was captured. I hope people come to their senses.
I completely understand your story. There's not even anything to ask you, because
Understand.
you are now a prisoner because of your past. Because of this life, you did what you did, and I think you now understand that it was a mistake.
I understood a lot of things. I realized that there are good people among Ukrainians, but there are also embittered people who don't like us Russians. There's probably a reason.
That's another question. Why do you think
That's another question.
they are angry? Why don't Ukrainians like you? That is, they hate you.
Well, because we aggressively attacked Ukraine. This is an understandable reaction.
Well, you came fight, but yourself said that you didn't have a machine gun.
Yes.
But you came to our land as a part of Russian army. You supplied the cartridges.
Yes.
You came to kill Ukrainians, right?
Yes.
Then our hatred for you is subjective. Do you deserve your anger and
Yes.
aggression? Leave our land and no one will hate you. We will put up a huge wall on the border and forget about your existence. Do whatever you want behind the wall in your own place.
I'm not interested in politics and live my own life. I'm not interested in what Putin is doing there, why he's doing it, and who he's
During the
communicating
war,
with.
did you find out the truth about what was
No,
happening?
I didn't understand anything either, actually.
Don't you understand why this is all?
Why did they start the war? No.
Didn't understand?
No. But I realized that the reason for the war was not told to us, ordinary people. What is this all for?
They told, you just don't want to hear. You want to know? I'll play a video for you, it's less than a minute. Just 3 lines and you either
Fine.
understand or you don't. 3 replicas, listen carefully, and below are the dates when this was said.
Our plans do not include the occupation of Ukrainian territories. We are not going to force anything on anyone. The appearance of Russian troops near Kiev and other cities of Ukraine is not associated with the intention to occupy this country. We have no such goal.
As for the long process of the results of the SMO, of course, this may be a long process. But then you mentioned that new territories have appeared, and this is still such a significant result for Russia. Well, that is, it's like my sister told me that Putin wants to return the USSR.
Well, what did you understand from this video? At first he said that there was no
Yes.
goals to occupy the territories. Then he said that the Russian army is near Kiev and
Yes.
near other cities, and that it is not a seizure of territory. And
Yes.
when they ask him what is the purpose of the operation, he says that new territories are the goal of the operation. So you are fighting for this?
Yes, for territory.
Well, it's illogical for the territory. And as a result, these territories are completely destroyed and strewn with corpses. Am I right?
Right, of course.
This is the truth. And you all know it. Putin is telling you directly.
I didn't watch TV.
The goals of the war are known to everyone. It's just propaganda that has brainwashed you. Earlier, there was another prisoner from Sakhalin. From Sakhalin, 11,000 kilometers from Ukraine.
Yeah.
Even the distance to China is shorter. Closer to Japan.
Yes.
From Ukraine to America in a straight line is closer than to Sakhalin. And if you swim, simply by mileage.
Yes, I understand.
I asked him why, and 2 people from Sakhalin are captured. I forgot what their nationality is called. I asked her, what is your son doing here? I talked to her for a long time, and eventually she started saying the propaganda you see on TV. She said that Ukrainians are to blame, supposedly we are killing each other.
I understand.
That is, they don't want to hear the truth. They retell what they heard on TV, that Ukrainians are killing each other, that we are Nazis and much more, but they don't want to know the truth. 11,000 kilometers from Ukraine, this prisoner came here to kill, and his mother says on the phone that we Ukrainians are killing each other.
They think they are being released.
Well, here you don't need any education at all to understand that they have been brainwashed by propaganda.
Yes, that's for sure.
Why did you come here? What did you need here? What do you care about our country? If you were not captured but died, then for what purpose?
I came for money.
You would die for money.
I already thought about this because in war there is
It's
death all
impossible
around.
not to think
I
about
thought
it.
if I died, the money would go to my nephew, my sister. I thought that this would help them and my death would not have been in vain.
Did you think your family would receive payments to buy an apartment?
Well, for those killed in the war, payments. I followed orders and was at the front for 5 days. I had nothing left but hope. There was no turning back. You are simply following orders. You do what they tell you. And then
It's just that when we say that the Russian army, the army of the homeless, then in your case it's true. Well, if you are officially homeless, as you say.
yes.
Do you have any friends?
Everyone has different destinies.
Different destinies. Do you have any acquaintances, friends,
In general.
comrades?
From the village,
Well,
a few.
there are people who can watch a video of you, recognize you, hear you.
Well, of course.
Can you contact them? We traditionally suggest reaching out to your friends at the end of each video. Based on my experience, it's not worth sharing with them whether it's worth going here. If it is worth it, then why? If it is not worth it, then why? In your own words.
Well, I'll probably say that everyone now probably thinks something different about this war. Some are bad, some may not know what they are fighting for, how and why. Everyone sometimes learns from their own mistakes, and I realized that in general, war is very bad. I don't really advise fighting with people at all, killing people, no matter whether for money or not for money.
Will they have a good chance of dying if they come?
Very good.
Is being left without a limb a good chance?
How to understand?
Without a limb, without arms or
Without a limb,
legs?
yes. Many people are undermined. Some without a leg, some without an arm.
Well, this just might work about normal things. Don't go out to kill, there's no need for war, it's all useless to talk about.
Of course, all the consequences of the war, who knows, are on the bodies, so to speak. This happens quickly. And if you think that all this is easy and simple, war is not so. War is a very terrible thing, which I would not have gone to if I had known, and I do not advise you to do so.
Basically, I think that's it. I don't know what else to ask you, honestly. Such a story. Well, it's a clear story. That's it, go.
Can I have a cigarette?
Of course, over there on the windowsill. You can take 2 of them. 2.
Well, okay, I hope I did something useful.
If even one person like you or someone like you hears you and someone thinks about it, then he's done it. And if not, then no, I don't know that. But your sister is surprisingly sane. Well, she told you. Stupid.
Stupid. One good thing is that I'm alive. That I am alive and I realize it all.
Of course it makes you happy. It seems to me you're still lucky to be alive. Well, I don't know. Do you think you're lucky or unlucky?
Very lucky.